Good evening, welcome to the meeting Thursday, July 1, 2021. Can we stand for the pledge, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll call the roll, please.
Mr. McCord.
Here.
Mr. Browning. Here. Mrs. Malad.
Here.
Ms. Reister.
Here.
Mr. Wilson.
Here. Next item to approve the agenda as presented. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Mary. Roll call, please.
Mr. Browning.
Yes.
Ms. Reister.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Mr. McCord.
Yes. Next item to approve minutes of the Thursday, June 3rd, 2021 regular meeting and the Tuesday, June 29th, 2021 special meeting. Attachments go along with that one. May I have a motion?
Second?
Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Katie. Roll call.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes.
Ms. Reister.
Yes.
Mr. McCord.
Board reports for the good of the order. Katie, you want to start us?
I have nothing to say tonight. It's summer. As Jared said, it's summer.
It's summer.
Mary?
So Saturday is marchathon for the marching band. So they'll be
Sorry,
starting
plug that one.
starting up at the high school, right?
Yep.
And then making their way down South Lawn and Zimmer and all the way to Central Park by the YMCA. So if you see them, give them a shout and support them and all that good stuff.
Yes.
And then obviously Sunday is 4th of July parade at 2:00. So get there early. Just want to acknowledge our new football head coach has been doing some good stuff with fundraising. Had a golf fundraiser that turned out pretty well. He also had a mom's boot camp, some kind of something that looked like a lot of fun where the moms got on the field with their kids and it was a good, I didn't attend because I don't have any boys that play football, but the pictures on Facebook appeared to be a lot of fun. So it's good to see everybody getting back to normal, having fun and doing the things. That's it for me.
Okay, Andy?
What Katie said.
Jerry?
Yeah, I was just going to comment about, I was by the high school the other night and the band's out working hard and it's nice starting to get back to normal a little bit. I see the athletes working hard. And from a city standpoint, the fact, we're having a 4th of July parade, we got the Sweet Corn Festival coming up and the final thing is I'm really already looking forward to Friday nights. We missed that last year in terms of, to me, it's special. Friday nights, the football team, the marching band, those kind of things, and the student section. At basketball last year and at football last year, I really missed our student section because we have one of the best ones in the league, and I'm already looking forward to it. So
We should say that our next board meeting is liable to be parent night for the band. So
Oh.
the parent
we can go out
video.
and watch it.
So we can go out and watch.
so we can go out afterwards. That's worked out the last couple of years.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Good place to get signatures.
Well, they're due hopefully darn close to that.
They are. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Jerry. I been around some of the buildings last couple weeks and just seeing what our custodians go through in those buildings when kids are not around. You wonder when they tear the place up, how in the heck they're going to get it put back together before the kids come back. But they empty out these rooms and wax floors and new painting and just anything that needs to be done. At the high school, I know they're working on the air conditioning unit up there, and that's coming along from what I understand. But more work for our people and outside contractors. they're doing some more landscaping at the primary, which I drove through there the other night to see. And so there's a lot of work going on, a lot of good things happening. And also just to report, our young athlete who went down on the football field the other night, I did hear he did dislocate that knee, but he did not fracture the leg. So he's due with the orthopedic guy to get an MRI, and then they will decide whether they're going to have surgery or not. Hopefully not. But he's in a lot of pain right now. I know Gene's been in touch with the mother. It was kind of crazy because I was just going to go through the high school to see the turf out there on the practice field, and as soon as I turned in, there was an ambulance behind me, and we went down I drove down to the football field, and sure enough, we had a kid down, and Gene was close by, and I called him right away, and he came by. So Gene and I spoke with the mother there at the football field, so hopefully he'll be on the mend, and if not, back to the regular season, maybe sometime throughout the season, he'll be back in pads and being a part of that. So that's all I have. Mr. 5-0, resignation of visitors.
I forgot to check. Did anybody sign in to speak before the board?
None, sir.
Okay, thank you. School district presentations.
Okay, before getting into facility updates, I want to congratulate Lisa. Lisa's the new FEA president.
Congratulations, I think.
Yeah.
And Lisa was very instrumental in the negotiations that we just finished, tentative agreement. Took a great leadership role in that. And, also want to thank Twyla for her years of service, Twyla Hines. She was great to work with, and hopefully keep that good relationship going between the board and the FEA.
Yes.
It's always
Thank
his fault.
Yeah, that's what we say.
I remember that.
That's what we say.
And anyway, with that, Mr. Patrick, I think you have a lot on your plate for us.
You were out, we're making him wait till the end.
He's got to go after it.
Yeah, we do have a lot, and as Mr. Report said, one of my first things on this list is landscaping at the primary. And if you've driven past the primary, you'll see that we changed the subcontracting group. So actually, we're seeing some work being done now.
Well, how about that?
So they did some new grading, and they put down some new straw with grass in it, and today's Thursday. So yesterday, SHP and the new subcontractor walked the site, counted bushes, counted trees, and trying to make sure that everything's there that we're supposed to get. So I have not yet seen that report. So landscaping is still, it does look a lot better as you drive past and look at those things. So we had a drop basin on the west side of the driveway that was covered in 12 inches of dirt. So that when it rained, the driveway was ponding, and we couldn't figure out why. We figured out why. The drop basins were covered. So we're working through all those things, which, as I've said before, that landscaping just takes a little while. It unfortunately does. So that's going pretty well. I like this new company, and I think they'll get it done right this time. As far as the replacement of the fittings go, we have stripped a lot of the insulation off around the building of the fittings that have been leaking. And we started to replace the fittings in the first hallway, the bottom hallway of the blue hallway. We started there because that's the hallway that summer school is going to be using next week. And basically they replaced, or by tomorrow, they will have replaced all the fittings in that hallway. So that kind of gives us an idea of how long it takes to replace those fittings. So each hallway is going to take us about a week. So we basically have, the top and bottoms of 2 more corridors plus the half of blue. So there's 5 weeks. And then the cafeteria and area B, the cafeteria, or the kitchen in the cafeteria area and gymnasium and so forth. So, in the administrative wing. So we figure that there's a real good chance that all the fittings will be replaced by August the 16th. When I say that, as long as we can continue to get the fittings, And I'll talk about that a little bit more here shortly. So at this point, that's gone pretty well, other than the lawyers going back and forth with one another. That's a nightmare. So I like the progress. What we will have to do is have the pipes will have to be insulated probably after school does get started. So we'll do that for second shift. They'll come in and they'll have to re-insulate the pipe that we've taken that from. So today we had, I believe, about 8 people from boat camp there, and we had probably another 3 or 4 people from McAllen there taking pictures and re-inspecting and everything else. So
That'll have to be pressured again, pressure tested?
hopefully tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully
The first
tomorrow.
hallway.
Just the
Yeah.
one hallway that they
Right.
worked on. So yeah,
So
hopefully.
the pressure test as they go.
So once the hallway's finished, they want to pressure test that hallway, and then they'll go back through and then they'll pressurize the whole system and make sure the whole system holds. So
Okay.
it actually will get tested twice. So that's going pretty well. The intermediate, as you can see, it was progressing pretty nicely. This week we lost a couple days due to rain. That just happens. One of the things that we lost this week was we had the sub mason group had subbed with another mason group to come in. So we had an outside mason group helping our subcontractor. So we were having between 10 and 11 trials and another 5 laborers. This week we lost the second group. So now we're down to a total of about 7 laborers and 5 trials. So we'll have to see how that hurts the schedule. It's definitely going to slow us down. One of the worst pieces of information that we received came last week. We were supposed to start the roof in the July 1st of August, and we basically come in contact with our first huge hurdle, and it has to do with the roof. The roof is an adhesive roof, and the polymers that are used as the adhesive are in short supply. We ordered the stuff, the subcontractor ordered it from the manufacturing back in February, and the subcontractor received an email saying that basically they were not filling that contract. So we are scrambling, and we started to scramble last week for roof materials and so forth, and I don't have good news to report on that. It could be as late as November before we start that roof. So that's definitely going to hinder the schedule. It's going to possibly hinder getting into that building on time. SHP, Conger, us, OFCC are all trying to work through that situation. I talked to Peterson, who is doing the high school. They're on another job site. They're having the same problem. So the roofing material is of short supply, and which kind of leads to the next supply problem I think we're going to have is I'm being told that paint will be in real short supply within the next 3 or 4 weeks. The same natural resources that are in the adhesive for the roof are also the adhesive that's in paint, and paint is projected to double in the next 3 weeks in price, and then after that it will be extremely hard to get. We saw some of that this week when we tried to purchase paint, field paint for the lining of the fields. We scrambled. We did find a company in Cleveland that did have some, but we were actually looking for the old field powder at one point in time. There's no point out there. The paint is it's not good. So we're really starting to see some of the problems with manufacturing and supplies and demand. And I don't know where this roof thing will end up by any means, but it is what it is. We're trying to deal with it, but that's pretty bad news. So as far as the current high school goes, if you've been in the parking lot, you saw the huge chiller that's sitting out there. So the chiller was delivered on time, and it's ready to go. Unfortunately, the system is a 2-pump system, and both the pumps that are required to run that, we were told last week that we're not too sure when they're going to ship, and so forth. I do give Weibel a ton of credit. Weibel found a used pump that they could have installed and used to run that system. Today, late this afternoon, after I typed this up, we heard that maybe there's a chance that the two pumps could ship as early as next week and has arrived in the second week of July, and then Weibel needs 1 week to hook them up. So if that all comes to fruition, then we should be pretty good. And if not, we do have the backup pump from Weibel. The problem with the backup pump is it's a different, we'll have to basically put some piping in and then take that piping out to reinstall our pipes. But at least we would have something there to run in August if need be. So we're starting to really see some of these delays in manufacturing, and it's kind of scary where we're at with that. Also, they started to replace some of the roof at the current high school this week. Once again, they were hindered by the rain this week. And the media center, we've put some walls up and started to paint a couple additional classroom places in there, and that's probably on schedule to be there and ready to go the first of school. Future high school, I have about 5 bullet points here. First of all is the budget. As you know that basically now that we're to the budget stage, SHP, the architectural firm, and Peterson, the construction firm, they have to take what their estimates are and come together. And with where we're at in construction and building materials, they're having a really tough time coming together with numbers, just because the numbers are changing almost daily. So what I know is that we're over budget, and that's even before we have looked at any alternates. So I'm being told that we will be given options to look at how we can get back to a budget number. How far are we over budget? I don't know at this point in time. They're still working on that. They had a meeting Tuesday in here. Holly from Hill was in the meeting with them, so she's been part of that before, and she thought the meeting was productive, but basically at this point in time, they're still trying to get the close together. So they'll come back, give us ideas. I'm assuming we'll meet as a core team, make recommendations on how to proceed forward and what to bring back towards the board to help get us back on budget and so forth. So they were hoping to be able to get us some numbers this week. It didn't happen just because the price of stuff is continuing to change rapidly. Next week's the week of the 4th. There's a lot of people on vacation. They're hoping that maybe in the middle of next week, but they didn't want to make any guarantees knowing that there's vacations taking place. We have zoning board for the new high school on July the 13th. Myself and Mike Parkinson and Greg Lewis from SHP met with the council a couple weeks ago, just kind of walked through that, because what happens is once the zoning board receives all materials, they look at it, then they hopefully approve it at the meeting. Then it gets sent to the council. So the council's already seeing what's coming their way. So we kind of preloaded it we answered a lot of questions and actually represented for probably an hour and a half. And I don't know if
Got positive feedback from that presentation, so.
So we're trying to prepare them to keep the process moving forward. And if the council approves it on the 20th of July, Peterson has already put out bids to do some of the groundwork. So we could still be on schedule to start moving dirt at the end of July, 1st of August. So that part's good. In your board packet tonight, you have 2 resolutions. One of them is to approve a short list of subcontractors for the steel package. The other one is to approve an early steel site package. And we're doing that a little soon, and we need to do that a little soon because steel shortage. Steel shortage, if we order it today, we won't get steel for 9 months. So what's in front of you is the opportunity to basically, SHP has sent the designs to Peterson. Peterson's looked at the designs, and Peterson would like to have and order 95% of the decking and joist work to have on site, which is actually a good thing, because the longer we wait, the more you could be until next summer before you would have any steel on site.
And the greater the cost.
And I would think so, yes. I don't see it going down. Yes. So you have 2 resolutions in your board packet tonight to basically help keep the process moving forward.
Are we gonna have to like guard that when it arrives?
I honestly, it's nuts.
That's what I'm
There's a lot of
saying,
stuff
like,
going on right
if
now.
it's sitting out there.
It's pretty nuts. Maybe you fence it. I mean, in all honesty, all this still sitting at the intermediate site right now has been. So as you drive down through Delwood, it's the areas inside the fenced in
I mean, it
area.
is steel, I can't imagine it's
Yeah,
hard to abscond with.
You would, yeah,
Yeah.
you would have a big
Train and
semi.
trucks and-
Yes.
So
It would
at
be a
least,
big
at
production.
least we have the area to put it, you know, so if
Yes.
it does come in and so forth. So talking about the laser materials. And
No more.
looking at our goal to be in there August of 23, that's not going to happen. I hope to have the seniors, the class of 24, in that building at some point that school year. But us being in there August of 2023 is not going to happen. We're really running into some delays in materials and so forth. So the goal would be possibly to move into it January of 2024 would be the goal at this point in time. I honestly don't know where that's going to land with the materials.
There's too much volatility in the market right now.
There is, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is put a video or 2 together next week. Pam and I'll work on a couple of videos and we'll post them like we've done before with construction updates and that kind of stuff. And just make sure that everyone's aware of what's happening at the intermediate and what's happening with the future high school. Kind of give people an idea of where we stand. But the last 2 weeks have seen some real problems with materials.
And I think what we've told people was not a date, but that those seniors will graduate from that building, which leaves us quite a bit of slop.
Yeah, this year's freshmen is what we said would be seniors in a new building. And, our goal was to always start their senior year in that building.
Right.
But I think,
That doesn't,
you have to understand that it's not like
Yeah.
we're
It's
slacking
not
on it.
us, it's the entire
Yeah.
industry.
It's not because of lack of effort on our
Yeah.
part.
Right.
so we're just gonna, that the intermediate was one that hit me. That's, that building was coming along real nice.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And,
Who'd have think it's like adhesives,
yeah,
the
so.
glue held you up.
So we'll keep trying, but just to let everyone know that we are starting to see some delays in materials.
I think it's a good thing
We
to
had
get
that
ahead of
happen.
it and communicate that to the community.
Right. Do it earlier versus later once we firm up dates.
And I think it'll be key to just make sure that as we get updates that you and Pam do those videos and let them know.
So,
Sucks, but it is what it is.
yeah,
It's beyond our control.
it's unfortunate, and it's, people are trying, trust me, people are trying to
Yeah.
look at things differently, try to figure something out. But we're not the only school district in this boat. Other buildings that are being built currently are coming to a halt too.
Is there any, I don't wanna like belabor the point, but it kind of feel like the people who were providing the adhesive, like, wouldn't a heads up a little earlier?
Well, if I understand the process right, there's only like 2 or 3 companies that produce this, and one of the companies just said, "We're out of here. We're going to do something else." So they no longer even produce it. And we found out last week also that there's only going to be one white paper company in the United States, one company producing white copy paper. The other companies switched over to brown paper because they can be more profitable selling Amazon brown paper for packaging.
Well, and as more stuff goes digital, people don't really.
God love
There
it.
goes your free market.
Amazon is killing us. Taking all the steel from the
So,
buildings
so
and
it's
now the
been,
paper.
the last couple weeks have been pretty interesting with what we're hearing, and then we actually saw it, and like I hear pace will be the next thing, so we'll see what happens. So I don't have great news really.
Get a couple hundred kindergartners out there with crayons.
Now I really feel like we should have incubated something.
Yeah.
You just reaffirmed.
So
my-
I'll be more than happy to take your questions.
What about wood? Are you hearing anything about wood starting to,
Well, you don't have a lot of wood.
not a lot of wood in it?
It's all metal frames. You know, even the drywall walls are metal, so we don't have a ton of wood in it other than cabinetry when it counts. And sometimes this cabinetry is fake wood anyhow.
It's
So,
on
Yeah.
deposits.
yeah, so we're not, that's not affecting us at this point.
Any other questions? Or? Chief?
No.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Not cheery news, but, you know, not much we can do about it.
Yeah.
Anything else, Gene?
We're good.
Okay.
Fire away.
Next item, budget and finance. Treasurer's recommendation is made to approve the following. And rather than read all of that, we'll just skim through, and if any one of the board members would like to pick one out for
Hold on,
discussion.
we gotta vote on A
Yeah.
first.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
How about a motion then?
So moved.
Second.
Thanks, Kate. Thanks, Andy. Roll call, please.
Well, before we call the roll,
Yep.
I didn't bring any music.
Oh,
Didn't bring any music. It's been a long 2 days.
you can say.
Thanks.
She just said she was very healthy.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just wanted to point out that
Welcome to the family.
The more we pick on you, the more we love you.
I was going to bring in the April 2019 one and hang it up, but didn't want to do that. But the total expenditures for the year below projected by $5,000 out of $48.5 million.
I
So
thought you could have gotten closer.
that's a difference of 1/100 of 1%. So just wanted to point it
Cut you
out
close
there.
there.
Just wanted to point it out there.
So you're saying there was an accurate forecast?
I just got damn lucky.
Anytime you get that close.
At the beginning of this
you're
year, I'm like, what the hell? What are we gonna do in classrooms? What are we gonna spend money on? Who are we gonna get money from and who we aren't? So it's just damn lucky.
Alright.
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. Browning,
Yes.
Ms. Reister,
Yes.
Mr. McCord.
Yes. Now, we'll
Now we
scoot
can
through
bring all the
the,
people.
scoot through the list, and again, if you'd like to point somebody or pick a name out to report or discuss, please feel free to do so.
Yes.
You know, this is not, it's that time of the year hiring.
Yeah.
moving
The
people
science
around.
professional development is what gets me. It's like so many people.
And so, we've had attachments with all of these as well. So may I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Mary. Mr. Philo, please.
Mr. Browning,
Yes.
Ms. Reister,
Yes.
Mrs. Malad,
Yes.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Mr. McCord.
Yes. Gifts and donations. Jerry, you want to do the honors?
Yeah. So, as always, we are very thankful in terms of gifts and donations. These all happen to be for the turf field. Kevin and Joy Boyko, $75. Wayne Campbell, $100. Tom and Debbie Massey, $100. Steve Ross, $25. And Laurel Mayer, $1,000. And that's all going for the turf fund for the new high school field.
Watch, we're gonna get there and you won't be able to buy turf.
You won't be able to buy grass seed either.
Yeah, exactly.
Or dirt.
The rate this is going.
Okay. Next item is work session.
I don't believe we have any items for work session, do we?
No, we don't.
Okay.
We'll entertain a motion to go into executive session for the specified purpose of the appointment, employment, or compensation of public employees.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
Ms. Reister,
Yes.
Mr. Browning,
Yes.
Mrs. Milan,
Yes.
Mr. McCord.
Yes.
And we didn't kick you out after 5 minutes, Wendy. We kept you here for 27 minutes.
Alright.
The other night she came to the board meeting, it was 5 minutes into executive session.
Just